Erick Schonfeld, co-editor of TechCrunch. Erick, 2011 is just around the corner. What do you most hope for?
I think that a lot of the sort of new types of services and devices that we just saw emerge this year, I'm very curious to see how they develop in 2011. Specifically, tablet and touch computing, I'm very excited about. So with the iPad, not just the iPad and iPhone and Android phones, but also Android tablets. This is sort of a whole new interface and a whole new way to design applications. And I think we're going to see a lot of really interesting applications, everything from games to media consumption to, you name it. People are going to sort of invent new ways to consume information, to present information on these touch tablets, which are significantly different than what we see on our laptops or on our mobile phones.
Will it save traditional media, the app economy and the iPad?
Anytime you have a new disruptive technology, usually it comes in at a lower cost and lower revenue stream than what it's potentially replacing. And I don't know that iPads are going to be replacing newspapers per se, although it's certainly, for me, I'm actually reading more of the paper on the weekend on my iPad than I ever have. So it's definitely a possibility. I think you have to take this in combination with just the regular web and news on sites like TechCrunch and like the New York Times website, right? That information is consumed there as well. It's not just on these touch screens. So it's sort of a combination, right? You start to subscribe to different feeds or to follow people who pass along links to stories, and that's how you get your information these days. I know I use Twitter as sort of my primary, pulse of what's going on, and I find out what's going on there often well before any of my RSS feeds or any of the other methods that I might have. Certainly better than going to 100 different websites and hoping that I catch the latest story. So you have to really think about where do people consume these real-time streams, and they consume them on their laptop computers when they're at work, and they consume them on their iPhones and Android phones on their way to and from work and going about. And then maybe if they're lounging about on the couch watching TV or on the weekend, maybe they'll have their tablet with them and they'll be consuming it there as well. So it's sort of a multimodal consumption that I see that's coming down the pike. And it's not sort of people going to necessarily one destination or even subscribing to a specific publication.
How do you expect social to evolve in 2011?
So again, I think that social and mobile are really intertwined, and when you add mobile to your social networks, it adds a whole new layer of information and a whole new layer of interactivity. So things that you do while you're on the go, you're more active, and there's actually just more things to share while you're moving about town than when you're sitting in front of your computer, right? Thinking deep thoughts or whatever, looking at lolcats. So I think we're going to see a whole array of new apps which start only as mobile apps. We've already started to see this. Look at things like Instagram or Pick Please or Pap, these photo apps that all of a sudden, we've had photo sharing apps for a long time. There used to be this company called Radar, which did an excellent job of photo sharing, but they were too early. But what's different now, a lot of people have these touchscreen phones, they've got cameras on them, they're on Twitter and on these social networks, and you combine all of these things together, and it makes it for a much more compelling experience, because right off the bat, you can find people to share these photos with that you're already, communicating with on these other channels, and the pictures are better, etc. So that's happening with photos, and I think that's going to happen. I think that's going to happen with other forms of media as well.
Is there another Groupon for 2011? You said that Groupon came from nowhere to turn down a $6 billion acquisition offer from Google. Can the app economy produce a Groupon in 2011?
Well, we haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. Anything is possible, although it seems that the app economy is more fragmented and there isn't a sort of winner-take-all or winner-take-most opportunity there, like there was for Groupon or there is for in social games for Zynga. Right now the winner of the app economy is Apple, right? Is the company that controls the economy. There isn't any one single app that has sort of risen to that level. So there may very well be another Groupon, and it's probably being formed in a garage right now. Whether that's going to be an app company or something that straddles mobile and the web, which I think is more likely, is yet to be seen.